Hey, what's up guys? Sermo11 here with my review of my teen romantic comedy SNAFU 2 or Season 2. This will be a spoiler review, so you should watch the entire season because that's basically what I'll be discussing in this video. I don't think I made a proper video on the first season, but I did talk about it and I thoroughly enjoyed it when it first came out. So this series is from the perspective of a loner. And I think it's definitely something that a lot of people can relate to. Our main character, Hikigaya Hachiman, is forced to join a school club by his teacher. He and Yukino Yukinoshita make up the volunteer club or the service club. They're both loners, but they're completely different. Like, they think differently and everything, and like the way they handle situations is a tad bit differently. Hikigaya believes in taking things on himself, and really his whole thing is making others hate him to keep everyone happy. And it's sad. In fact, it's really sad to watch. Yukino believes it's the job of the elite to help the people below them. And the third member of the service club is Yui Yugihagima, and she's cheerful and part of the popular kids crew. And the three take on requests as they go through social problems, and that's my quick summary of the series. This review will obviously contain spoilers, hence the title, so yeah, I'm going to start going through the entire season. And this is going to be a long video. I don't even know if I'm going to record all this at once, because I typed a lot. So, here I go. In the first 2 episodes of Season 2, the club gets a request from Hayato and Toby. Hayato's personality is still confusing me. Like, I shouldn't have to explain everything for you if you've seen the show, but Hayato and Toby are also in the popular kids group, and Hayato seems like a nice guy, but he's been pretty different after the end of Season 1, and I don't know if it was like building up to this, or maybe there were hints of this before and I just didn't see it. In Season 1, Hikigaya basically tells a girl that she's a nobody, and she just wants people's attention. And he wasn't wrong. Actually, he was far from being wrong, but this upset Hayato. And then he was like, why do you always have to do things this way? And Hikigaya is such a direct character, and you can't do this in real life because someone will hurt you, even if it's true. And what surprised me was that Hayato actually pushed Hikigaya against the wall, because it seemed so out of character, but we're getting more of his personality in this season, and it matches up with the Hayato from this season, but the Hayato from the first season seemed like such a good guy and everything, but, I mean, that is explained, so it is explained later in the show, so I kind of agree with it now, I guess. And, let me see. Back to Season 2, Hayato is very reluctant to even ask Hikigaya for help, but their request is to help Toby ask Hinata, or not Hinata, that's Naruto, ask Hina out, and Hina is the weird chick who likes seeing men interact, and that's all I'll say on it. So they go on a school trip, and they're basically trying to get the two alone, and they're alone at different times, but nothing really comes out of it. And Hayato, he likes how things are right now, with all of them being friends. Yumiko, the other leader of the popular kids group, I guess in a way, it seems like her and Hayato are like the ones that are like super high in the group or whatever. She tells Hikigaya to stop, like he runs into her at the convenience store or something. But what really took me by surprise was that Hina put in a request after Tobe, and I forgot exactly how she requested it, but it was something like she wanted to see the guys together. And Hikigaya, he later picks up on this, so as Toby is about to confess to Hina, Hikigaya steps in and confesses instead. And I thought he was trying to speak for Tobe because he was having trouble putting saying it to her, but that was not the case at all. See, if Tobe had confessed to Hina, confessed his love and everything, the relationship would have been awkward for all of them. And I don't think he hates Hikigaya, but he states that, what he did wasn't cool. So Yukino and Yui are upset, and Yukino especially because of Hikigaya's way of doing things. Like, he doesn't know his value, and it hurts his friends when he does this to himself, because he basically made himself look bad to help out Tobe and help out the group overall. So the next little story arc is about a new character, Ira Ishiki. Yeah, Ira Ishiki. So she's a freshman who's been elected by her peers for the student council as a joke. And she seems like she'd fit with the main cast. A lot of the promotional art has shown her with the main cast. I was like, oh, this is the new main character or something, you know. And I really wanted to see her join the group. I love the love triangle going on, but can we add one more and maybe make it a square? One thing that I really love about this series is that it's set in a real world and it takes time for things to happen. You know, the characters aren't always around. Like, you don't see your friends every day, do you? Sometimes Hikigaya runs into them at the store and etc. And you know, after getting the request, it definitely seems like Hikigaya was going to run and try to get elected, and that's something that he would do. You know, make himself look bad to help out Ira. But Ira doesn't want to be president, and she's running unopposed. So if she wins, she loses. And if she loses, she still loses. But either way, she wins the race. She doesn't want to look bad because, you know, the people that elected her, they want her to look bad, basically. And if you're getting bullied like this, I'm sure people's image of you is either really good, you know, people love you and everything, or it's somewhat bad and they're just doing this to bully you. So, like, good meaning like, hey, this person's better than us, let's ruin them. And actually, that applies to good and bad in this situation. Yukino really doesn't want Hikigaya to do things his way. She wants him to find a way around it, which leads the situation to lasting longer, and for like a large part of season 2. They all really care about each other, so they don't want anyone to get hurt trying to help someone else. So Hikigaya's thinking is just ruining the way that Yukinoshita or Yukino thinks about him. And while out with Yukino's sister, Haruno, Hikigaya runs into some classmates from middle school, or junior high as they say in the anime, Kaori and Chika, and instantly they kind of rubbed me the wrong way. They kept laughing at Hikigaya, but hey, they only treat you like that because you let them. I mean, that's something people say in real life, but it is true. If you remember, Hikigaya confessed to Chika in the past. I don't know if they actually said her name in season 1, but there was like a flashback of him talking about like how he confessed to this girl, and then because she was nice and everything, and he thought she liked him, and he started to like her, but she was just nice to everyone. And then we got the whole speech about nice girls, but yeah. I'm sorry, there's a lot of information on here. Yeah, so she was just acting nice to everyone. He wasn't actually getting special treatment. And then Hikigaya's speech about nice girls in season 1 is still one of my favorite scenes to date from this series. It's so true. And the author is amazing because he really knows what he's talking about. I mean, you think a girl is treating you nicely because she's into you, but she really just does that to everyone. And I think it's just something that hits home for a lot of guys. But back to season 2. Hayato is called by Haruno. He invites Chika, Kaori, and Hikigaya out, which turns into something pretty great. They go out, and Hikigaya is still being made fun of by the girls, but then Hayato just goes off on them. He acts like Hikigaya in that situation, but he's not wrong, and he causes the two girls to leave and everything. And Hayato even called Yukino and Yui to see like him go off and him praise them, because like Hikigaya has met better people now, and he doesn't really need them around need those two girls around treating him badly. And by the way, Yukino and Yui were not around as much in the beginning of season 2. I don't know what was up with that, but I mean they're more focused on like later in season 2, but they were not around that much. Like it was Hikigaya, like main focus completely. It just feels like that. It seems like Hikigaya's complete focus. So yeah, Haruno and Yukine discuss the election, which eventually causes Yukine to run for president, or discuss like running for president. And next, Yui wants to run for president because she doesn't want to lose her friends. And she's not as smart as Yukino, but she still wants to run. And Hayato's character is just all over the place. Like, you're a nice guy, but you're not really. You like defending people. Like, I want to know more about this guy. And Hikigaya doesn't like that both of his friends are trying to run now, and as he searches for a way of like fixing this without hurting himself, you know, because he could just run himself, make himself look bad, and then wait, no, he would make they would have to make Ira look good, and then yeah, Hikigaya would have to no, they would have to what? I don't even know what I'm talking about. But basically, in the situation, I guess Hikigaya would have to become president, and then Ira wouldn't win. Something like that. Like someone has to win that's not Ira, basically. Where am I at? So he starts asking other students for help. So we have like a lot of students from season 1 that don't really get as much focus in this season. And he has one of them give him a list of people, like the what is it? Saki? Yeah, Saki or something like that. She gives him a list of people that she would vote for, and then he uses the names to make social media accounts for them being student council president. So like, follow, or if you want to see this person as president. And then he changes the names and uses this to motivate Ira to just become president. And then she wins because she's still running unelected. By the way, there was a scene when Hikigaya was out with Hayato and the others, and Yumiko sees, and she kind of just falls, and then Hikigaya points out the color of her panties, and it's so funny. I mean, he's just a normal kid, I'd say, and he looks at the chests of, like, women, too, and he's kind of a pervert, but, you know. It was a really, like, genius plan. Like, I want to see, like, the author's writing process. Like, what would make you think of that? But let me see where I'm at, guys. I'm up at about 11 minutes. Okay, cool. So the next little arc concerns Ira as president and how she'll go about the Christmas celebration with another high school. It might be a multiple high schools or something. And then Ira asks the service club for help, but Hikigaya declines and then tries to help her by himself. So things are still awkward between him and the other club members, probably because of yeah, it's the situation with Tobey and stuff. That I think that was the one that made stuff awkward, right? Yeah. So yeah, Ira and Hikigaya, they go to a meeting with the other members of this event, and it's interesting because there's always a little scene where Ira goes to pick up supplies, and then Hikigaya tries to carry them for her. And then there's a lot of attention to detail in this show. I bet I'm missing stuff myself, and I wrote this a little bit after I watched the first 8 episodes. But don't worry, I'll probably be talking about the rest of this stuff too. There's one scene where the bags are light, and then Hikigaya persists to carry them anyway. And I don't know if that's significant or in any way, but they spend a lot of time on it. Like, they're just walking, and then he's still trying to get the bag, and he's still trying to get the bag, and then eventually she gives him the bag. But the meetings are really annoying. Like, the meetings for the Christmas celebration. So we have this character, Tama Nawa or something like that. He's the adult over the situation, and he doesn't want to upset anyone, so there's no real leader position, and he's accepting all the ideas. And I'm doing hand gestures right now as I record this, and he did hand gestures like all throughout the show. Now, that's okay for the first meeting to accept all the ideas, but he continues to do that at every meeting, and then Hikigaya kind of confronts him like on this topic, but not completely. You can't do what everyone wants. Like, that'll cause chaos. So they go back and forth with this until it's 1 week before the Christmas celebration, and they don't have enough money for the event because, like, they're accepting all these ideas and they can't do all this stuff, and they just need help. So Kaori is there too, you know, the girl from Hikigaya's past, and she's still laughing at him. I don't like her. And then this guy's pretty good. Okay, yeah. So I think Hikigaya is pretty good. I feel similar to him in a way. I'm not as smart as Hikigaya, but I think about things from his perspective sometimes. Like, from the perspective of a loner, I would say, like, when I was in school, I thought about, like, certain things like that. But if someone is laughing at me, that would get to me, and I'd have to, like, tell them off. I cannot just, like, handle that. And Hikigaya continues to get Tama Nawai to cut some ideas, but so they can actually start. But Tama Nawai, he won't cut any ideas, and he even got some grade schoolers to help. And the situation is just kind of getting worse, and his hand gestures are crazy, and he just does it every time he talks and everything. But yeah, like in school, I would say I was quiet, I guess, but I was also alone at certain points. So it was mostly elementary school and middle school. I think I get into that like later in this review. And then not as much in high school, but sometimes in high school. But I kind of wanted to be around people, so I don't know if Hikigaya is going to go through anything like that. So Hikigaya does get alone time with Yukino and Yui throughout the season, just like in season 1. They're both nice, but by the end, I hope one girl is picked. Hikigaya runs into Yukino at the mall, and then she tells him that he doesn't have to bother with the club activities. And again, this scene seems darker. This scene seems darker. It seems deeper than like what is exactly told in this scene. He then runs into his teacher, Shizuka, and she tells him wanting to protect the two is what's causing the problem. If their bond is strong, this wouldn't break it. And I like that because it's so real, If a friendship is easily broken, then it was never real in the first place. And Hikigaya asks his friends for help, and he asks them for help the next day, and he starts crying, saying he wants something genuine or genuine. And this causes Yukine to run away. It confuses both of the girls. And frankly, I was confused too. Maybe this was his way of saying he didn't want to lose their friendship, but it's just the way it was worded and everything that made it strange. I just had trouble seeing it as like a very emotional scene, because it was hard seeing him cry, but just the way he worded it, I don't know, I'd rather have him say, I want something real. But even then, like, where did this come from? In what context are you saying this? But I'm going to take a break. There's not going to be a break in the video, but I need some water. I've been talking for a while. This covers the first 8 episodes, and then I'll be covering the next few episodes in like a few minutes or whatever. Anyways, guys, see you for part 2 if I split this up. I don't know.